Nisaiers, and hello world. Welcome back. I'm so excited to kick off the season 4 of the Nisai Show. It feels like just yesterday we were wrapping up our last season, and we're so grateful for all your support along the way. Now, let's begin this new season with even more amazing stories. My name is May, your host. I'm from Vietnam. I'm in IGCSE Year 2 for 3 subjects. Well, the Nisai Show is designed for Nisaiers, a place where you can freely share, connect, and discover yourselves. Today, we have our very first guest for this new season, Summer. Nice to meet you, Summer. Can you introduce a little about yourself?
Hi, I'm Summer, or you can call me Nha My. Right now I'm living in Vietnam and I'm studying at the NS3 level class at Nisai.
Thank you, Summer. Now that we know something about you, what's the special story or passion you're excited to share with us today?
I like to share my passion about debate. Well, not too long ago, I came across the British Consul General Scholarship, and it really inspired me to give it a shot. One of the requirements was about sharing knowledge with others, and that made me think about how debate has been such a big part of my life. Debate has given me confidence, sharper thinking, and the ability to express myself better, and I realize it's the perfect way to share and inspire others. That's why I started the club. I really hope more Nisaiers will try debate too, because it can open up so many other opportunities.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that you're super passionate about this. And also, congratulations on becoming a scholar for the British Consul General Scholarship. What an amazing achievement. Well, what inspired you to apply for the scholarship in the first place?
Well, people around me were starting debate clubs, and so I got really inspired to create one too. I created one with my friends, but I realized that making a club actually needed a lot of resources and support, so it wasn't really established. But I still wanted to try and I created a club. So that's when I came across the British Consul General Scholarship, and it became a perfect alternative catalyst for my club. Since debate has been such an important part of my journey, I felt like it was the perfect fit and the right opportunity to make the club happen once and for all.
Wow, I can see that. And I think that this is your passion and then following up with the British Consul General Scholarship. I think it's an amazing coincidence. And can you tell us what inspired you to join the enrichment program project with the British Consul General Scholarship?
Well, the thing that inspired me to join the enrichment program with the British Consul General Scholarship was because Uh, debate skills has been a really key part of my success, and that I already built a club before that, like I said, and therefore, because of that, I got really inspired to join the British Consul General Scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that, yeah. And could you share a bit about the process for applying for a scholarship? Because usually people always see that scholarships are kind of difficult to apply to and it takes a lot of resources. How was it for you?
Well, honestly, the application itself wasn't that hard for me because I already learned so much from different people. And the lessons about the structure and stuff, it wasn't that hard either because I already learned from my other previous debate teachers. So trying to organize lessons wasn't too hard. But I felt like the hardest part, in my opinion, was somehow to match the level of the lessons to the mentees level, which are the people that I'm going to teach if I get the scholarship. I remember hearing from podcasts that if something is too hard, then students won't learn. But if it's too easy, then they'll get bored and not want to learn. And I really want people to feel the same passion for debate that I do. So try my best to find that balance. Because there could be students that are really confident and there are students that are really shy. So I spent a long time trying to match the debate classes with the mentees level.
Yeah. And I think that's the same for me too, because this British Council General Scholarship, that is something we have in common, right? And for applying, I think that it's not that hard because we've always have this passion and this drive in us. And to apply, it's not hard. But also, like I said, and I'm still agreeing with you, that is matching the level to the mentees because we're going into this blind. We don't really know their level, but we don't know them personally too, so it's challenging at that part, right? describe, the moment you found out that you were awarded the 100% scholarship?
Well, I remember I was on my way to running practice in my car, and then I heard my phone ring. Then I started to open my phone, and then I saw the words 100% in my email. And I was so happy at that moment because it felt like all of my hard work has finally paid off. And even better, I got the chance to learn new things without my parents having to worry about the financial costs. For example, humanities, which is a subject that wasn't introduced in my old school, or grade 8 maths while I'm currently learning in grade 7. So it was a really big opportunity for me to learn and create my debate club.
Right. That instant moment when you got the email and then it's just right there in your face. Well, you mentioned that your debate skills were a key part of your success. Let's dig a little deeper into that, right? We all have like a passion that defines us, who we are. Well, what is it about debating that you love so much? And what sparked your passion for it?
Well, the thing that sparked my passion was at home when I was young. My parents would normally play TED Talks for me to listen to like all the time, and I really enjoyed hearing all the different ideas people shared. For example, topics from procrastination all the way to genders. Then one day, my school hosted a debate competition, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna give it a try because I've heard a lot of TED Talks and it seems really fun." Thanks to the TED Talks, I did pretty well in that competition because I had a lot of knowledge from watching those talks. And I also saw how people would speak on a stage. So thanks to the TED Talks, I did pretty well in that competition. Suddenly, I was standing in front of a whole audience holding the Champions Cup. And in that moment, I felt like debate is my sport, and that competition was what truly sparked my passion. What I love the most about debate isn't just the skill itself, but the amazing community around it. I've made so many close friends through debating, many of them in Hanoi, even though I live in Ho Chi Minh City. And I've connected with people all across the world. Debate has given me both a passion and a quote-unquote family.
Wow. That's an amazing story. And the starting point too, because I think we all grew up seeing TED Ed videos, seeing TED Talks. And when we're young, right, we're always, try to mirror what we see and try to, imitate, what are they saying and how is their tone. So I think your success, based on your starting point is very cool and super personal. And it's amazing, how this simple moment can ignite like a passion that really changes your life. Well, as far as I know, you've won many national and international competitions about debate. Can you tell us, about some more of the awards?
Well, one of my proudest achievements is getting champion and the first best speaker in Vietnam British Parliamentary Championship, which is a nationwide tournament in the Sparks division. And so I remember vividly about that tournament as it was my first tournament where I went outside of Ho Chi Minh to compete, which I didn't really get champion when the first time I competed. But then next year I grew a lot and then I competed in that tournament again. Then I got all of the awards in that tournament. So I remember that was a great competition. I also got champion the junior division of Oxford School's Vietnam qualifier, also the champion junior division for Saigon Debating Championship 2024. Then the next year, I was like, I want to take this a step harder and I want to challenge myself. So then I applied to become a judge for that competition, and I became the youngest judge to break in Saigon Debating Championship history. So,
Crazy. You're
thank
so
you.
little, right?
Yeah. And so I also have a really like proud achievement of being breaking seventh open in Ho Chi Minh City Debate Open. This competition was where university students could still compete, and so it was really, really hard for me. But this tournament was especially like outstanding for me because it was one of my second debate tournaments where I endured 5 losses and 0 wins. And 2 years later, I joined that tournament again and I managed to break open, which I'm really, really proud of.
I see. I can definitely see your growth with time and also with you being so little and competing with, there are universities that are in there, right? And, the pressure, maybe the pressure makes you better and makes you want to prove more that you can do so much more than this, right? Well, you've had so much success in debate. That is a big, big list. Well, how did winning those competitions, change the way that you approach new challenges, especially when it comes to planning your debate club or, working with teachers and mentors here in Nisai?
Well, winning competitions have given me a lot of knowledge, but I think the most important skill is teamwork. Thanks to the teamwork skills I learned through debate, I learned to communicate more clearly with my peers, to listen to different perspectives, and to divide responsibilities so that everyone feels included. This has helped me give out assignments and change the environment so my mentees feel included if I want to make sure that my debate club runs smoothly. Working with teachers and mentors at Nisai has also built on that too. It reminded me that success doesn't come from one person, but also how the whole group works together. So thanks to debate, I've given a lot of opportunities and also it helps me work better with other people. So yeah.
Yes, definitely. I think communications and to make conversations is one of the essential skills in working on projects, right? And I'm also very proud that, we all have super effective and, beautiful conversations with teachers and mentors, and also the peers, the mentees that, ignites this conversation and makes it as beneficial as possible. Thank you for sharing that, and I think it's super helpful and encouraging. And as far as I know, the Nisai Debate Club is launching in October. Can you share a bit about your preparation for this new journey?
Well, it's been quite a rocky road for me because I'm moving to Australia soon. I'm actually flying tomorrow, and I think I'm going to move there for like a few years. So it's been quite of a rocky road for me to try to maintain the quality of the lessons while also packing for Australia. But fortunately, the Nisai teachers are very supportive, giving me frequent training sessions and support to make sure my club runs smoothly. And I've also got a lot of help from my friends that like motivate me to do my club and stuff. So yeah, my preparation for this new journey has been quite hard, but thanks to my friends and the Nisai teachers, they've helped me quite a lot.
Yeah, I think every single journey there are bumpy roads, but I'm glad to hear that you've, gone through that. And I wish you, a safe flight tomorrow, yeah? What kind of outcomes are you hoping for this club? What are your, expectations for the members, mentees, or, for the club as a whole?
Well, since I really like debate, my biggest goal is to create a welcoming atmosphere where everyone feels comfortable and confident to share their ideas. I want the club to be a space where the members they can support each other, grow their skills, and actually enjoy the process of debating together because debate is such a fun sport, and I hope other Nisaiers can also feel that joy of debating too. So I think that's my biggest goal.
Wow, beautiful. And to create a comfortable, relaxed environment too is amazing because, sometimes people have set stereotypes about debate can get heated, right? So how can you, tame down that environment for it to be more relaxed?
Well, even if debates do get heated, it's all part of a learning experience, which I try to tell that to everyone. So even if you win, even if you lose, you still have to listen to the feedback no matter what, because every single round is like an experience and a step to actually improve yourself. So I feel like no matter how stressful it gets, it can still be short term, and you can just realize that all of this is just an experience for you to grow and be better in all the other next rounds and the next competition.
Yes, it's all lessons, all lesson to, stand on your own two stances and be able to confront those debate and learn a lesson from it. Well, I think your story is so inspiring, and I know that so many Nisars, watching this show are probably thinking, how can I do that? Well, for a Nisar that has never debated before, what's the very first step you should take to get started?
Well, I'd say the very first step is just to be curious and open-minded. You don't need to know everything about debate right away. Just start by listening to others. You can maybe watch a debate round. I recommend WSTC debate rounds or even a TED Talk and notice how these people build their arguments. From there, you can try speaking up, even with the small points, because confidence grows with practice. So you can try create an argument and try to speak and try to practice that argument. And then, yeah, the more you practice, the more confident you get. Debate isn't about being perfect from the start, but it's about growing. So the more you practice, the more growth you get. The more open-minded, the more growth you get. So of course, it's about growing. And you can also practice to be in a supportive environment too by joining my club, and you're free to join.
Ah, thank you. And I think everyone is free to join, right? We all have this experience and it's all in a lesson. And then if we start slow, it's all right because you learn eventually anyways. And besides studying at Nisai, are you also attending another school?
Well, currently I'm not attending another school, but I'm still quite busy with extracurriculars and also preparing to move to Australia, where I'll soon be studying there at a traditional school. Honestly, I think balancing both at Nisai and a traditional school isn't too hard if you're organized. For me, setting reminders on apps like Google Calendar really helps. At first, when I studied at Nisai, I did quite struggle with joining class on time because some of my extracurriculars were scheduled close to my Nisai classes. But over time, I adjusted my system, so I set more alarms on three different devices, and it's made a really big difference, and I'm frequently on time for class.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And time and planning is so important because I myself try my best to never miss on schedules and to never be behind the deadline, right? And to balance because sometimes you can be a little forgetful. Yeah. So setting reminders, alarms. I set my alarms every like 1 hour, 30 minutes to think about what did I forget? Did I forget anything? And that's incredible. Seeing you have three devices, I think, three monitors would be perfect for you. And I think it's, incredible that you balance your studies in two different schools. Also, many of our viewers are new to homeschooling. So, could you describe it was like for you when you first started homeschooling with Nisai? And what are some, biggest challenges that surprises that you faced?
Honestly, homeschooling with Nisai wasn't such a big change for me. It felt quite similar to the online learning we all experienced during COVID. But what I really appreciated was how Nisai made the transition much smoother by providing all the resources I needed, for example, an Outlook account and access to tools such as Excel. That really helped me stay organized with my studies. Another thing I noticed was how the lessons are designed in these short bursts, which made it much easier for me to focus and stay engaged. As a first-time homeschooling, I could have adapted to this environment really hardly, but thanks to Nisai, they've made that process a lot easier. Shout out to the teachers too, because they've made the lessons super enjoyable with really quality homework and amazing attendance tracking.
Yeah, I love Nisai teachers. Shout out to the Nisai teachers. I love you guys. And you're talking about the short bursts, right? I think that right now our attention span is very bad for the overall general population. And for 30 minutes, you get engaged. You think that you only have 30 minutes of class, but those 30 minutes are so valuable and you learn to pay attention and be able to make the most out of those 30 minutes, right? Wow. Thank you, Summer, for sharing your story with us. We are excited to learn that you have already had an amazing plan for your future. We wish you the best. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm May, and this is the end of today's episode with the Nisai Show Season 4. We will be back soon with a brand new story to share. Goodbye.